Hi everybody, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers, Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and the Junk Journal Papercrafts Facebook group, and of course the Sweet Pea Papers coffee shop. Now, today we're going to be starting a new project, and it is a collaboration between Natalie at LineDotArrow and Suzanne at Nonstop Papercrafts, and so they've each made a matching kit, and so it goes together in a big giant collaboration kit. And when I say big, I mean it's big. It's like 60 pages by the time you get done combining them all. Now, they've done flip-throughs of their own, each of their own half of the kit on their YouTube channels, so go watch those. Now, this is towards this is the second half of the month, so their flip-throughs were put up probably 2 weeks ago, and you've probably already seen them, so I'm not going to do a flip-through of the kits. Suffice it to say, they are beautiful. Now, this is going to be my design team project for LineDotArrow as well. So now, when I was trying to decide what to do, when I think of elegant, for some reason I think black. So I've got black, and then the papers, we're doing a tall slim, but then I thought, well, how am I going to hook that together? What's it going to do? What's it going to be? If I just folded the page in half, then there's really not enough room. So then I got the idea of manila folders. So these are legal sized manila folders. You can use regular sized, I think. You may not be able to. They may be too short. And then we're just going to glue them together and make a tall, slim folio, except that the pages are going to be black with the cream around them, and then the paper in the center, so each page is going to be framed. Okay, so what we want to do, this is half of a 8.5 by 11 65-pound black cardstock piece of paper. This is one half of one of the oh, let me talk to you about this for a second. You know how I'm always saying never, with the European pages, never print them fit to page because you lose a little bit off the edge? Well, in this particular case, in this project, I did exactly the opposite. If I had left it to where it had that wide border on the top and the bottom, then these pages would have only been 3 inches wide. And I was like, that's just not going to work. So I sacrificed a little bit of the image, unfortunately, to get a full, almost 4 1/4 sized image. This is the 4 1/4, which is half of 8.5, of course. And then these are a little bit smaller. They do have a little bit of a white border all the way around that you trim off, and that ends up being 1/4 of an inch. So then you've got 1/8 of an inch all the way around on your papers. Now, except I think it's a little more on the top and the bottom, just a smidge more on the top and the bottom. Okay? So I did exactly the opposite of what I tell you to do. So, you know, do with it as you will. Or if you have, what is it, A4, A5 paper, then just go ahead and print it on that, and then it will come out the way it's supposed to, I think. So that's enough of that. I'm just confusing myself and you. So I've got my cover papers set out, but I also need to figure out how I'm going to do this. So we're not going to have any tabs. Don't let that fool you. What we're going to do is we're going to take, this is 4 1/4, and we want 1/8 of an inch around. So it's going to be another 1/4. So it's going to be 4.5 inches wide by 11 1/4 inches tall. Okay, so let's try that and see what we get. I've got a bunch of stuff floating around everywhere, which I try not to do, but here I am. Okay, so I said 11 1/4. By, let's see, 4 1/2. 8 1/2 is going to be 4 1/4. 4 1/2. Now remember, you want to keep your folded side, so you want to cut off the side that's not, you want to keep this. Okay? All right. So we're going to do 3 of those. Now you definitely want to save all this jazz. You never know. Okay. Eleven 1/4. Okay, so now those should all be the same in a perfect world. And I'm going to set all this somewhere. Okay, so let's make sure that these are all the same size. Okay, now there's gussets on here. You see these lines? Okay, there we go. And you want those to be on the back side. So make sure they're on the back. Oh, the folder got beat up a little bit. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we're going to put these together. We're not going to do anything too fancy because we don't have a whole lot of room. We are going to make one double flap. And then the rest of them, I think we're going to leave Well, we're using black soot as our ink, and we need to ink these up, but we want to take we're going to go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 gusset lines and then the fold. So we're going to go, let's check this and make sure. Okay. Yeah, that's going to look fine. Okay. That's not the one we're using though, but so when we do the this one, let's do it like this. Let's do cover, which is going to be 1 and 2. We're going to cut this one in half, so it's going to be 3 and 4. Five, 6. Just wondering, there's so much space on each one. Okay, so I'm going to mark that approximately the center. It isn't exactly the center. And we're just going to go over to the second gusset line. We're going to draw a line out. The nice thing about Amazon legal size folders is they don't say Amazon on the inside. They don't say anything. Okay, so then we're going to cut this. Oh, not wild about that noise. Okay, so the reason I'm doing it ahead of time is so that we can fold them like so. And then we can ink them. So we're going to ink the whole thing in black. And you're still going to have this fold here on this. Then on the next one, this is going to be 5 and 6. And then 7. Maybe we won't do 3. This will be 8. Then let's do the same thing here, only we're going to make the bottom a pocket. So we will, which is the same format that we've done on a couple of others, but this will give us something easy to work with since we're doing this kind of odd dimensions. And so let's just go up 4 inches. That'll give us plenty of deep pocket. And then we're going to cut it all the way to the gusset. I mean the fold. Okay, and this is going to be a pocket. So that's going to make this 9. This is going to be 10. This will be 11. This is the back of the pocket. Okay. This is 12. $13. 14 and 15. Okay, so we're going to ink this all up, and you're going to ink everything all the way around. So like when you're inking in here, you're going to ink where it folds here. And where it folds at the gusset, where these little flaps are going to open. So you're going to have an empty space in here. I'm going to try to be careful and leave that space open. Maybe put a long thin piece of paper down it. Something like that. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get this inked up Then we're going to come back and we're going to do the cover, and then you will see and make sure you don't get messed up here. And then we'll see how that's going to work with the black and then with the paper and getting it all done. Oh, well, we'll glue it together as well. All right, so I'm going to take a break here and get this all inked up, and then we'll come back and we'll get it glued together and we'll do the cover. Okay? Alrighty, I'll see you in just 1 second. Okay, so we're back, and I found a mistake that I made back here when we cut for the pocket, and I said cut all the way across. That wasn't true. I fixed it, but what we really should have done is cut only 1, 2, 3 of the 4 gussets. You see where this line is here? Because otherwise we wouldn't have had anything to glue to the next part, and this whole top part would have just been flopping in the breeze. So, and we're going to have to paper this before we glue this on, this pocket on. Otherwise it's not gonna work. So we'll do that too. Okay, as part of gluing everything together. So we're going to start with the front. We're going to glue this part here. This is 5 and 6. We're going to glue this part right here. To the front of this. I tried to be a little bit cleaner than what I was with the inking, but the manila folders are soft and the black is just wah. So it didn't end up being quite as crisp of a line as I wanted. Okay, so we're just going to lay this on here. Like so. Okay. And now we're going to paper this one. I've already inked it. These are some very large pieces of paper. Oh, poo. Oh, poo. My hand is not wanting to cooperate right now. My arm is tired. I filled the glue bottle up so I wouldn't have to squeeze it very hard. And I squeezed it and glue came out everywhere. Oops. I even put a new dauber top on. With little pieces flying everywhere. Now remember, we're going to have to do this on every one. put the black mat down on every single one. And I printed on both sides, the collage pages and these pages and all. I just printed this little grid paper on the back that comes with the kit. Some of the envelopes and different things, some of the postcards, I printed differently on the back so that they would come out like looking like a picture on a postcard, you know, instead of just a grid line. Now, with this paper, it looks directional, but it's actually directional from the center out. It's mirrored, and the center is the mirror edge. So it doesn't matter which way you put it on. Okay, and then now we'll glue this on. And this is a pocket. So we're going to glue it on 3 sides. And then instead of stopping here, we're going to continue right on up this little gusset line. Okay, I'm going to put that right over this. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that's glued down. Otherwise it all comes apart like it did just a minute ago. Okay, so we got this here. Okay, so the only difference with this is that we don't have the tall pockets in the sides where they're glued together because we cut the pages in half instead. Okay, so now for the cover, we need to put our black mat on. Why does that piece not look right? It doesn't look big enough, does it? Now we're not putting any flips or flaps or pockets or anything like that on the cover. I thought I would make it simple. So we're just going to glue this straight on the matting. We're not going to have to make room for, you know, any kind of folds or anything like that. So we're just going to glue this on there. I like that. Okay, now we're going to, I took this piece of ephemera, and then this is another piece of ephemera, and it had one of the logos in the center. And instead of cutting the circle out, I just took this circle and just stuck it right over the top of the picture that was in the center on here, and made my little matted frame to go along with my matted frame. So we've got that. We've got Elegant Burgundy, and then we've got this really pretty lace ribbon, whatever ribbon that I got from Temu. Excuse my hands with the black ink and all the. Then I've got this lace. It's got the gold in it. I don't know if you can see the gold, but it's got gold woven all through it. I don't know, I can't see it looking at the camera, but anyway, you have to take my word for it. There's gold thread in there. Then I've got this, which I'm going to use two different ways. I'm going to use it full-sized, and then I'm also going to cut some of it in half. Otherwise, with these 11-inch tall pieces, I'm going to run out of lace here promptly. I've got this, which I think is very pretty, and I'd like to use it on the cover, actually, now that I think about it. And I have the smaller as well. How am I going to do that? Because I wanted to put this on here. And then run this up the center. Yes, I like that. And then put this on here. In fact, down a little bit. This up here. A piece of lace underneath it. So I just want it to be simple. I don't want it to be too, but I would like to tie the black ribbon that I have in. I'd like to tie that in as well. I wonder, what if I put this on here? Like so. And then ran these. Oh, I like that much better. Okay, that's what we'll do. Okie dokie. So we're going to get this piece. Ow, that was my knee. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this center part right along the edge of the paper, because that's where we're going to, well, no, we don't want to do that. We want it to be in a little bit further, don't we? Because we're going to put that black ribbon on it. All right, so I think where this line is right here, this olive line, I think that's where I'm going to put the center of the lace. And we can put the black ribbon on that, and then we can put the little flower ribbon on top of that. And I think that'll be pretty. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I want to put the center of it. Okay. You know what I caught the dog doing? I couldn't figure out what the noise was I was hearing. My friend Claudine got me a $30 Domino's gift card for Christmas. And so it took me 2 days to be able to use it. They were so busy down there. And you can only do it over the computer or pick up. And I didn't want to pick it up. I wanted them to bring it to me. Which, once I realized the delivery fee, wow, it's up to almost $7 now just for them to bring it to you. Used to be they were honored. Honored that you asked them to bring you a pizza. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Do I want to stop it here? I think I do. I think I want to stop it at the black. I need to trim this just a little bit then. have done that a little straighter, but it's already glued down now. Should have known better. That's all right. Okay, so now we're going to put the glue down here again, right down the center. Okay. Now we're going to do it again. We having fun with this yet or what? I like this framed look. Okay. Okay. All right. I feel like we should have something to balance over here. You have to be careful with this because when you cut it, it will come unwound. And now I don't want this to come apart down here. So I'm going to glue that little piece of the thread that loops this wider part. I'm going to glue that down as well. All right, I think that'll look more balanced. Mm-hmm. Look at me go. Terry does lace. I like doing lace. I just, I don't have a lot of it. If you guys get a chance to, you should watch this movie called Hotel Artemis. It's got Jodie Foster in it, and it's relatively new. I think it just came out on cable. But anyway, it's really good. I like Jodie Foster. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did. So there you go. Now it's in your head. Out of mine, into yours. I have to remember that the next time I have a song stuck in my head. Okay. And then I think I'm going to take a little bit of the black and run it through across this part. So let's see where we want it. We want it about here. And this raises it up just a little bit. Gives it a little bit of depth. And gluing it on right side up is always a bonus. Well, I like that. Okay. So we've got everything inked. We've got it all put together. We've got one page inside papered because we had to paper that to glue it together. And then now we've got our cover. So that's 55 minutes as far as I can tell. And so we're going to call it quits for this video. And then I will see you in video 2. Sorry for all the reaching. You know me, I'm cleaning up and talking at the same time. So I will see you in video 2. And we'll start on these interior pages and see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.